Hasbro's out trekking the galaxy looking for bounty. Here's your look at the Hasbro Star Wars Mandalorian the Child, the Bounty Collection. Going to be looking at a couple of offerings thanks to the folks over at Hasbro that sent these my way. We're going to be looking at some smaller individually packed The Child, as well as a more deluxe set that's going to come included with Grogu's Hover Pram pack. Having a look at the individual packaging first of all. Now these again are also available in retail stores. I've seen a couple of these popping up at local Toys R Us's. You can see the packaging down below. There's Star Wars Mandalorian The Child. This represents, by the way, Series 3, and it's recommended for ages 4 and up. The one that we are going to be having a look at is Grogu with cup, and also there's a Grogu that comes included with a little pad, a little keypad. Again, we'll be opening these up in a second. Some nice artwork on the side of the packaging, and again, some warnings and stuff not recommended for little sad onion faces for ages 0 to 3. And it comes to us from the folks over at Hasbro. The more elaborate one that we are also going to be having a look at in a second is the Mandalorian Child Grogu's Hover Pram pack, which comes included with his Hover Pram, as well as a bunch of different food items that can be packed along with him. And also looks like he comes included a little blanket there too. Again, on the back, you can see the way it looks when it's fully assembled. I'm assuming very little assembly is required, but we're going to be opening this up in a second. And it comes with series-inspired accessories. So we're going to go ahead and open these up. And then once we come back, we're going to get a closer look at the Mandalorian the Child Series 3 Bounty Collections, the smaller individually packed figures, as well as Grogu's Hover Pram pack. Getting these all opened up, the ones on either side are the single-released Grogus, whereas the one in the middle comes included with his Hover Pram. We're going to look at that one last, starting first with the one that came included with the little tiny mug. For a second, when I first saw this in the packaging, I thought he was smiling. In actual fact, it's the liquid he's drinking that's left the mustache behind on his face. I think that's absolutely adorable. In all the cases here, Grogu is staction, so there's no posability or any movements that you can make on the little tiny character. But I gotta admit, like, the sculpting on this is really nice. In all the cases that you'll see, they have little reflections that they put on the tops of his eyes. I think that really adds a little bit of extra charm and personality to the faces. Again, this one is cute because it does have the little mug that he's holding in his hand. I love the fact that they did put the little bit of liquid in there. I have a little scuffing, it seems, or a little bit of extra unnecessary paint that's on the inside of the mug. Other than that, it's a really cute little representation of Grogu with his little tiny mug in hand. Onto the other side, we also have Grogu sitting down in this case, carrying around a little space tablet. Now, what's interesting about the tablet is you can see it looks like a dissection of a frog. You can actually see that or not. It looks like this is probably an applied sticker. It's just off a line slightly. Maybe it actually could even be printed on. Now that I'm looking at it, it actually looks like it's been printed on. It doesn't match completely the full frame of it, but I mean, that's a little small detail. It has little buttons and stuff that's been sculpted along the top. Again, it's not something that can be removed from his hand, but it's cute the fact he's sitting down. Looks like he's keying away at the display screen. Again, you got the little reflection in the corners of the eyes. Just to compare the two, now there's several of these Grogus available. I've seen like a whole shelf space full of these at Toys R Us. One is the standing one, one's the sitting one. You know, of the two though, I kind of like this one. I love the fact he's sitting down and he's playing on the little tiny tablet. And then the more elaborate one that's a little bit more expensive to pick up, is the one that comes included with his Hover Pram. Some assembly was required for the Pram, by the way. It comes in a couple of parts. I'm just going to take it apart for right now to show you how it comes disassembled. It comes in the main bottom shell that's going to have him, Grogu's going to be sitting inside of that. It's a nice detail, actually, to the interior of the Pram. You may already see that there's holes. One's on either side and one right in the middle here. Then you take the canopy part, which has some additional paint applications there on the side. And you basically just take these little pegs. There's one there, and one there. And yeah, you just line it up to the holes provided and just snap it down. Snapping is probably not the word you really want to be using. You really want to resist pushing pressure down on it. You kind of want to put pressure at the back of it to snap it in place. And it stays well in place, but just don't push it down here for the risk that could crack it. Then you're going to take the bottom of it, and they give you this clear stand to kind of make it look as if the Pram is actually hovering. And then from there, you can actually take your Grogu and sit him inside. But we're going to sit him inside just here for a second. I want to quickly show you guys what he looks like. And just to kind of compare him with the single release. About the same size, give or take. Just different facial expression. This one also has his hands extended out. The reasoning why his hands are extended out, because he actually comes with a couple of accessories. One of which being his Space Cookie. It's not really the name that's given to it, but I'm going to call it Space Cookie. Normally here on Earth, I wouldn't be consuming a cookie of this color. Either the dye would be killing me or there's something probably off on the cookie itself. You can see he's already taken a bite out of it. He has no qualms whatsoever eating this cookie. The cookie actually can fit into this hand right here. So I like that all the things he comes included with, for the most part, can be attached to the figure's hands. The other one looks like he's almost serving something. You can take, I suppose, the little soup dish that has the tentacles sticking out. And those are nicely sculpted here as well in purple plastic. And you can kind of just have it balancing off his hands like this. It's okay, really, if you're having him standing on his own. If you put him inside the pram, is sort of where you have more of a difficult time of kind of keeping everything in place. The last thing he also, actually, second last thing he comes included with is a single Cyclops frog. A little tiny cute frog with a little single eyeball in the middle there, done all in black. The plastic is pretty soft that they've made the frog out of, and I like the bright colors of blue that they've used. Right there. And I guess you could also even just replace that with this little soup dish. You could have the frog also in his hand as well. Finally, the last thing he comes included with is a blanket. Nice to see that they actually included the blanket. The material is almost like a felt that they've used, and it's kind of a nice soft brown color. To take Grogu, you can put him into his pram. You sort of already see sort of what I'm talking about. If you get him in the pram, it's kind of helpful to put the cookie in his hand first, because that's not something that's going to be easy to put in afterwards. You sort of just have to balance. Let's just assume you want to go with the soup bowl, just balance it in his hand, and then you can kind of just put the blanket over top of him. Just like that. Tuck him in for a good night's sleep. And it usually just results in him popping out the cookie, and then you have to retrieve it later. I guess you could decide for yourself either to display him with the accessories or display him with the blanket. It's kind of hard to do both, especially with the cookie. The cookie's going to fall out of his hands. But I think I'm probably, in a case like this, just going to display him. Even though his hand is kind of sticking up like this, I'm just probably going to put his blanket over top of his body and give him a good night's sleep. And really, too, you can also take the other, just dump that one out. You can also take the other Grogus, too. So if you want to have him sipping his cup of liquid, you can also put that in the pram as well. Now, again, like these are individually sold. The ones on either side, actually, you know what, let's just pull him back out and put the other one back in. These, again, are individually sold here, and they come in, again, these little packs. So you know right away. They're not mystery packs where there's a surprise to know which Grogu you're actually getting inside. In this case, you actually know exactly which Grogu you're getting, which is kind of good, too, because if you're looking to pick up more than these, it's always nice to be able to go in and say, okay, I have this one. I don't have this one, and pick it up right away, instead of just taking Lady Chance to pick up one and hope it's a Grogu that you don't already have in your collection. And then, of course, the one in the middle is going to be a little bit more expensive than the ones on either side of it, because, of course, it comes also included with Grogu's hover pram. A big thank you, though, to the folks over at Hasbro that did provide the brand new, somewhat brand new, these are the new Bounty collection. I kind of even like the name that they gave it. As soon as I think Bounty, the first thing I automatically thought of was paper towels. That's not the kind of bounty we're talking about. But today, though, we were having a look at the Bounty Collection Grogus, individually sold Grogus on either side, and of the more deluxe one in the middle, Grogu's Hover Pram Pack. Have you picked up any of these for yourself? If you have, let me know down below in the comments section which ones you got and what do you guys think of them. Or if you haven't picked them up, are these something that you would want to pick up if you're a big fan of Baby Yoda? Baby Grogu. We don't really call him Yoda anymore. If you guys are new to this channel, you're enjoying the content you're seeing, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Turn on the bell notification so you get those friendly reminders, those friendly little 411s of whenever new videos are going to be popping up. And just a friendly 411 to you as well, person that's in front of the monitor. Keep your peepers peeled to this channel. There's definitely going to be a lot more Star Wars reviews lined up and coming your way. As always, thanks for watching. See you guys next time.